So,
good evening, Neil here with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Show number 800. Maybe 900. TC not here tonight, but I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Rob Roskopp, his wife Lepa, and a whole crew of international soccer players. Talking tonight, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. This is about soccer, football in Santa Cruz. It's not talking about being on NBC or Peacock. Or this soccer happens right freaking here. I'm gonna start with Lepa. Ladies first. Lepa.
is this live?
Live. I got people watching already, so you gotta be handsome and smart. So, can you give us a detailed description of how you got involved in soccer here, and how you guys develop it, and what you're going to be doing?
So, you know what? I'm going to actually defer to some of these guys to do, but I will first say that the reason why we got involved here in this community is because there was a need for it. We felt that, our children went through through the programs for many, many years, and we felt like they weren't being taught correctly.
Okay.
And our son got affected pretty significantly, and I think that made us really aware that we needed, if we were going to do something in this area, it had to be the best.
Right.
And we had to bring in the best, and we had to bring in the smartest.
Right.
And so
you did?
We've done that.
Okay. So who are you going to introduce us to now?
So obviously everyone knows Nisha.
Oh, you all know Nisha. Yeah, he's been on the show many times. Yeah. He's a veteran. And Nisha.
I'm a scared one guy now.
Yeah.
And with his talent, he's done a lot. And now we also stepped beyond and went to more talent here. And I will let Columbus and I will let Stefan introduce themselves and what they're doing in the overall picture of.
Can we start with you, Columbus?
Breakers.
Absolutely.
Where are you from?
I am from a lot of places. I am a citizen of the world.
Okay.
I was born in Rome.
Okay.
I'm Italian by birth. My parents are Cameroonian, so I'm Cameroonian as well.
Okay.
And I'm also an American citizen, so I've lived here for 20 years, and so I'm an Italian, Cameroonian, American.
That's very cool. And your soccer for you started when, where, and how?
Soccer for me started since I was born. So I grew up in Rome, which is, as you can imagine, one of the more passionate places in the world about soccer. So I played since I was a kid. Some of my first memories of soccer and football are, so I was born in 1985, if you remember the World Cup, I'm sure you do, in 1990. I was a 5-year-old in Rome. I was from Cameroon, I was also Italian, and it was the first time a lot of my friends in Italy got to see what Cameroon was, what it was about.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about the World Cup was this country called Cameroon that most people in the world had never heard of. Kind of showed up and beat Argentina, beat Diego Maradona in the first game.
You guys beat Maradona in Argentina?
We did 1-0. No one expected it.
The country must have gone crazy.
The country went crazy. And that same team went on to show that was not a fluke. They went all the way to the quarterfinals of that World Cup.
Very cool.
And we're very unlucky to lose to England to this day. If you talk to the English players, they know they got away with a 3-2 victory in overtime. They got 2 late penalties. They were this close to...
We'll fight later. How about that?
Exactly.
We'll arm wrestle later.
Exactly. But England won the game 3-2. But I watch that game almost every year, and it was a good example of just the kind of what soccer can do, right? Showing the underdog can
Well, everything changes. Even in this country, when you have soccer here, when the last time the World Cup was here, it just everything changed. Everyone just was all countries in love with sport. It's funny here how it disappears a little bit and then people leave, right? It comes back and then we're going to try and keep it here. We're going to try and keep all that zest here if we can. And it starts with the youth.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah. So 1994, as you know, the World Cup came to the U.S. and that was the beginning of the growth, I'd say, like this version of soccer. And MLS launching after that. And then, fast forward a few years and we have the World Cup coming here again. And so everything that we're doing here at Breakers, which we'll talk about, goes hand in glove with the natural trajectory of the growth of the game in the country.
So what do you guys this project you guys, who's going to talk about that, the project you have working on at opposite York School down in Monterey, which is a beautiful part of the world. I remember I coached the soccer team here, and we used to go down there and play York School. It's beautiful down there.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
So what are you guys going to be doing?
So, well, we are right now. We're working, through some of the county issues. But we're going to be building out a stadium and dormitories. We're going to be, housing players, obviously, and a big community of like a more eco-sustainable community for the academy.
Okay. Who's this handsome fellow right here?
My name's Stefan Castellan.
Okay.
I grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Where?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay. Oh.
Very, very cold.
This is like a beach day for you right here.
That's exactly right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
50 degrees and rainy sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
So,
you guys are putting on number 50.
That's exactly right. I went to school out here in California for quite some time and met Columbus, and we've kind of been working together ever since. So my dad is originally from Mexico. I grew up a huge fan of the game since I was 3 or 4.
And your team is who? You're passionate about what team?
Well, I love Tottenham.
Oh, sports fan?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, Gareth Bale, Vandervaart, Modric, all those guys got me jazzed up. And then more recently, Minnesota United, when they joined MLS.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of them ever since as well.
Yeah. And what are you doing out here in Santa Cruz as far as being part of this program here?
I'm just doing whatever needs to be done.
Okay.
So my background has been in kind of growing businesses, startups, that sort of stuff. And what we're trying to build here, which is super exciting, is there's a lot of different components, and the team is small. So you're wearing a lot of hats. You're trying to get a lot of stuff done. And it's just, hey, we need to knock things down one by one to make sure that we're accomplishing the vision that we're setting out, especially ahead of kind of the World Cup, ahead of pro team, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking about the issues you're having with permits and and governmental stuff like that, how hard is it to want to build something in, especially across the street from York School down there? Is it hard or?
Well, truthfully, CEQA, it's a joke.
Is it impossible?
It's an absolute joke, and I don't know. We are trying.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, joke-wise, how many? On a scale of 1 to 10, joke. Is it a 10?
Nothing makes so. I'm being nice. Nothing makes sense. But what we're trying to do now is to go by the rules. Obviously, follow the game plan, but we're gonna have to go from top bottom.
Yeah.
So we're now gonna have to deal with the top.
Okay.
And that's what we're planning to do, and to show the overall what Columbus can get into is our vision of what we're doing and what we're bringing to this county.
Is that your field there, trying to help permit-wise and get the stadium built? Is that your expertise?
I defer to Lepa on that, honestly. She's been doing this for decades in the industry, so she's definitely the one that knows far more than I do.
I've done build-out for a long time, before I started in the Sahara, but, I think that part of the problem is it's gotten a little bit crazy. It's pretty much impossible, I think, to build now in California. But
don't stop.
We're not stopping. No, we're full speed ahead.
Right. Those kids need that stadium. Those kids need that practice area.
That's right. Especially a big percentage of these
children. So you're going to incorporate kids from Monterey and Santa Cruz? You're trying to get everyone involved?
All of Tri-County. It's going to be open.
Okay.
Listen, it's going to be a competitive, and maybe you can talk to it more. It's going to be a very competitive organization.
Okay.
So,
No, absolutely. So listen, at the end of the day, the heart of the project is very much trying to create one of the best versions of player development, not only in California, but in the country. So we're lucky enough to be in a part of the country which is blessed with talent, which is blessed with the cultural component of the Hispanic heritage. And what has been missing, in my opinion, in the country has just been a real culture and understanding of maximizing player development and maximizing human potential through soccer. So Breakers has existed for a long time. The group here, Nisha, everyone who's been involved has been focused on how do we basically develop the best possible ecosystem. Yeah. In certainly Santa Cruz, but hopefully in the country. And so the project really, you've mentioned the club in France, right? So we're also partners in a club called Martigues in the south of France. Which is also rich in talent. Yeah. There's going to be a component in Cameroon and Africa in general. So creating a play pathway for players, talented and ambitious players coming out of Cameroon, who can go to France, who can come to California, who will have an opportunity also to come through the educational system at York, Monte Vista, etc. And then some of whom will use that to change their lives and sort of gain careers through that, and others who will go all the way and play in Major League Soccer, and some will go all the way to the top and play in England.
Cool. Your team, Spurs, Tottenham, built one of the great stadiums of the world, incredible stadium. But listening to the radio today, where they don't just use it for soccer. I mean, Tottenham hasn't won anything lately. For the last, I got
give us a minute.
Fans are 40 years old, haven't won a fucking thing. French, right? But the stadium, they're well run. That stadium that they built in the center of London holds NFL games, holds concerts, and stadiums that go on the whole time. And now they're going to build one in Manchester. They're going to knock down Old Trafford from Manchester United Stadium and build a stadium for the world, which is going to do the same thing. And do you think that's something you can think about? Like, the stadium we're going to build here, it's not just for soccer, but it's going to be for other community events that we could hold.
Nisha,
I think so. Yeah, because this is the more part of the future. This is the part economic is be very, very charged for this community, and this stadium is about for a lot of the different components. For example, for friendly games, for events, etc. But the more part of the things has been FIFA. That was the best team 2026. And that will be something the keys for whole the county for developing economic aspect.
That's exciting. Building a stadium for crying out. It's pretty cool.
I know. I know. And he's right. We are planning to. We've reached. I mean, can we announce that or no? The FIFA.
No. I think we can talk about the overarching.
Yeah, the overarching. Yeah.
So I talked about a lot of the player development aspect. Alongside that, we are also building what we know is going to be a world-class facility. Which is going to lend itself to developing players, but also be available for other events. Right. So you mentioned Spurs and Man U, and so there'll be a stadium that can also host events. They can not just soccer events, but also concerts and such. And other ways to sort of generate revenue, and then also specifically to what Nisha mentioned, to host a team in the World Cup. So that's one of our main goals, is to be a team-based camp for a team at the World Cup in 2026. There's a process to go through that we're going throrough. But that's the goal.
We call the Roskopp Stadium. Can you see it in lights?
Watch yourself.
If we want to pay millions, we're not going to pay millions for that.
So what else we got? Is that it? We done? We good? We good, Mr. Roskopp? You want to say something?
You're the interviewee.
I'm the interviewer. Well, actually, I hope you. I'm an avid fan of soccer. I coached soccer here for years, and it's something that's needed, and it's something that's needed here. They cry out for it, and it's just needed, and it's the future. And if you guys can help out the kids.
Yeah, we don't have enough fields. That's the whole.
What's that?
We don't have enough pitches, fields. That's the problem. So this will be.
Hey, another thing is, when we grow up, you see kids in the park playing football, and we used to play in the park for hours. You don't see kids doing that here. Hopefully, you can get kids in the park and and playing soccer. Get them outside. Get them off the damn ball.
TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, guys, for the interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This has been Off Radio Show. Mr. Roskopp and crew, Mr. Hot Water, and great bunch of guys. Support if you can. Jossie Cummins, if you're listening, we're going to be calling you, buddy.